If I got it, then I got it. If I don't, I'ma get it. Cause I said it and I said it good. Nigga, that's on everything I love.
Speak on it, my nigga, speak on it.
If it's on, I'm with it. Go.
One of the guys, that left the Wheels a few years ago, and he was in the Wheels at the roundup when I rode in their camp. And I'm gonna
like I told y'all, this is some real OG stuff. That's why we speaking on it today. We're gonna keep this history alive and keep it going. We got to.
You got to, man, because motherfuckers don't understand. This is what we're about, man. And this is a brother named Concrete. He's a chosen few now.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a Wheel of Soul, which is, I give him credit, this is a bad motherfucker.
Right.
They got chapters all over the country. This is what he said in the podcast. I mean, in the thing. He said, when Boss Mike pulled into the Wheels camp alone over a decade ago, that was the only time I have ever felt like someone's patch was more significant than mine. I saw that faded oval pull in and felt like Jesus. I just saw Jesus. That's the feeling we need to instill in everyone that sees us now. Stop doing regular ass shit. Ride your bike and help the club stay legendary. See?
That's my job. That's my job.
To get that kind of thing, see, we don't demand respect. We command it in our behavior and where we go. You will never go any fucking place, and have a motherfucker walk up to you and say, oh, shit, man, that goddamn doctor, that cocksucker, and boss man. You would never hear a motherfucker say that.
Right.
We didn't conduct ourselves that way.
Respect all around the board.
Yes.
I was coming back from Washington State, and I pulled into a gas station, and there's two white boys in there on bikes, and they was trying to tell me that I was going to get fucked up because my patch was red and white and this, that, and the other. And I said, well, who's going to do it? He said, Hell's Angels, man. They don't play that stuff. And I said, I party with them all the time. I see them all the time. They ain't said nothing yet. And he said, oh, you lying? And there was another guy in line. I didn't know him, didn't know nothing about him. And he said, no, he's right. He said, Chosen Few, he was from San Francisco.
Right.
And he said, we know Chosen Few. And all three of us, it was two of them and me. And all three of us looked at him because it was like, he said, they party with us all the time. And when he said that, we looked at him. He wasn't on no bike. He didn't have on jeans. He had on a suit. He had on a dress shirt and some slacks, And we looked, he said, yeah, I'm in the Hells Angels.
Fucked his head all the way up. And I don't care. I don't know. I guess I never got into it that deep. But when I was in the Feds, I was in Terminal Island. And it was a white boy in there, Hells Angel out. You can tell he got the tattoo and everything. And we was in the visiting room. Yeah. And I swear, I bullshit you not. When that white boy stood up, now you're not supposed to do nothing in the visiting room. Like, you can't intermingle with visits. My dad used to go out there parking the fucking in the police parking lot and tell him, my bike parking right here. I don't give a fuck what you say. I'm not parking way down the street, none of that shit. So the guards all knew my dad.
Yeah.
So I can't think of dude's name to save my life. But anyway, when he seen my dad, he jumped out his seat with his visits and came and hugged my dad.
Yeah.
And said, my dad sat there and told me, he said, man, that's a Hells Angel. That's my boy. Yeah. I was like, wow, I didn't even know that. I didn't know they party together like that. And he like, fuck y'all, I'm hugging my partner, this Chosen Few, Hells Angels type shit. This is what we do. And I was like, okay. And I got, man, that was a good dude, man. That's when I found out that y'all really got down with the Hells Angels like that. They wasn't what the people portrayed him to be.
Yeah. Well, some of them, not all of them.
Well, of course, you got your asshole, you got different perspectives.
Always. I came back again. I was coming back from Oakland, and my bike broke down on me on my shovel. All it was the oil line to go between the heads. Mm-hmm. That little bitty oil line broke, and so I pushed the bike into at Buttonwillow. I pushed the bike into the truck stop. And when I looked across the parking lot, my mind said, there is San Gabriel chapter, Chosen Few. And I literally thought it was my brothers. And I had a little girl with me, and I told her, I said, we fixed now. So we started running, pushing the bike.
To them.
We went across the parking lot, parked, put the kickstand down, 2 Hells Angel prospect came out. What are you doing? And I said, what? He said, this is our pack. I had pushed my bike into their pack.
In their pack, okay.
And he said, this is our pack. You lost your mind? I said, no, man. I said, I thought this was my guys. I said, I apologize. I said, just let me get my breath. I will move my bike out.
That part. Out of respect.
But before I could do any of that, the vice president came out. And he said, what's wrong with your bike? And I was telling him, they standing there. And I was telling them that I had broke the oil line and this, that, and the other. And he said, well, they're going to fix it. And immediately, my mind said, they trying to get my bike from me. They were trying to pull it. They think I don't know how to fix my bike. They're going to try to trick me out of it some kind of way. I told the dude, I said, I appreciate it, man. I said, but I know how to fix my bike. All I need to do is get some parts, and I will be able to fix it. I said, you know, I'm really cool at making up the stuff to fit,
right,
so it'll work.
Right,
you know? And he said, no, that ain't the thing. He said, I told them to come out here and run you off. They came out here and talked to you. The price they're going to pay is to fix your bike. So now they started talking to 3 of them. Like me and the girl ain't even there. What do you mean we got to fix this nigga's bike? Yeah, you got to fix the nigga's bike. I told you to run them off, and you didn't run it up. To pay the price, you're going to fix the nigga's bike for him. Well, I ain't fixing no nigga's bike. And he said, you don't fix the nigga's bike, put your cut on the seat. On his seat.
Wow.
Why I got to put my cut on his seat? Because you wouldn't fix his bike because I told you to. That's why. Now, there was only one of them talking. The one that wasn't talking said, Prez, I'm going to fix it. And
I'm going to get some tools.
Yeah. He turned and started walking away. And the one that was doing all the talking, he grumbled and grained, but he turned around and left too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, me and the vice president and my girl, we went and sat right in front of the restaurant. They had curb. We sat down on the curb. We pulled out a joint. We sat there smoking joint on the public thing. And we smoking weed and stuff. That's before I was preaching.
That ain't no question. we all got a pass. We ain't judge. No judgment. This is no judgment zone right here.
But I didn't tell you. But in the process of all of this, when I was pushing the bike off the freeway, another club, I won't call their name because it's disrespectful what they did. They went right past me like I wasn't standing. You know. They just flew past, pissed me the fuck off. I mean, I was really uptight about that. But what they did do, they saw some of my club members, and they told them, and they came back in a van to get me.
Right.
And so when they came back, me and the vice president, we had been talking, and his name was Dennis, and my name was Dennis. The only difference was his last name was Dennis, and my first name is Dennis.
Okay.
He was vice president of his chapter, and I was vice president of my chapter. And so we were sitting there talking like that. And he told me, he said, I know you think that we're trying to get your bike from you, but we're not. And he gave me a Hells Angels business card. He handed me a business card. He said, they're going to fix your bike, because they didn't do what I asked them to do.
That part.
And that's all that it's about. It got nothing to do, you just happen to be in the middle, but you're going to get your bike fixed. And they came back with some copper tubing and stuff, and they wheeled it around. The one thing that I won't forget is I couldn't figure out how they was going to get the piece of the fitting broke off in the head. And I was going, you usually need an easy out or something like that to get that. I'm going, well, how they going to get that out? And he said, they ain't going to do it, I'm going to do it. And the vice president, he took a hammer and a Phillips screwdriver and pushed that, tapped it up in there and screwed that piece out like it was a piece of screw. Like it was a real thing. And I said, man, you just taught me something. I never would have figured that out. But he taught me that. And That's one part I won't forget. He was from Napa Sonoma, Mendocino, and but we've been cool. And even when I was the national president, we went to a ranch where the Dragons was having a dance at their ranch.
Right.
But Hell's Angels was searching people to come in. So one of my members came up and said, Doc, they searching us, man. And a lot of the guys, this packing, they had to go and do this, that, and the other. And I turned to the president. I said, y'all searching us, man? He said, wait a minute. And he motioned like that. One of his guys came over. They whispered in the ear. The guy left. The guy came back and he whispered back in the ear. And he looked over to me and said, Doc, they ain't searching your guys no more. And them guys that they sent away with the guns, we told them to go get them and bring their guns and everything.
Man, that's real camaraderie, Doc. And I wish I could get that in the car club culture. But like you said, these youngsters, they ain't having none of that, bro. They just wilding out. So look, y'all really got a lot of history, man, that got to get out there. So what we gonna do? We gonna cut it short right now, cause just for the sake of time. And when we pick up at your house when you ready, then we can continue. You know what I mean? Cause I know y'all got histories, and we're gonna probably bring Sniff or somebody. You know what I mean? Cause and that's another thing, man. I love all y'all because y'all love my dad, and y'all remember when I was little running around in the clubhouse. You know what I mean? And I'm the same one, just like my dad, and I love y'all like I was a chosen few. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think I'm one of the only ones in the world that's not a patched member that got a chosen few tattoo. You know what I mean? So, and I wear that with pride. Yeah. I would never, ever, ever disrespect that.
I think Youngblood got one too, don't he?
Who?
Youngblood.
Yeah, Youngblood got one. He wasn't even he was just a hang around at the club.
He was a down ass motherfucking youngster.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's the way I feel. Like I said, y'all all my uncles. I love y'all to death. Yeah. And then when my dad was, see that? Man, I was chosen few. When he got in, when he established in that, he was born in 40, died at 15, bro. I love this and I love y'all to death, man. So we're going to continue.
Before you do, Doc, tell him about when you had to come get me.
Where?
And when I told you I was...
in out there on Jefferson?
Yeah.
He called...
Real quick, because the battery, I think the battery going down the camera.
He called me and he said, Doc, he said, you got to come help me, man. He said, these guys got me jacked up here. I said, well, let me call. He said, don't call nobody. Bring your ass home. So I jumped in my car and I put all of my shit and I run out there. And so I get to the place, they give me the address, and I get to the place. I literally tippy-toed with my shit in my hand. I'm tippy-toeing around trying to find out where he was. And I seen these two guys sitting on the stairs. And they sitting on the stairs like, what we gonna do, man? What we gonna do? And I know I'm at the right address. And I said, y'all sit still. And they said, what? I said, where's Mike? Mike, where you at? He said, I'm in the house. I said, what you doing? He said, come on in. Listen, he said, I'm snorting coke. I'm snorting marijuana and smoking cocaine. I said, what? And he came outside, and the dude said, man, if you just give me the keys to my truck, man, I'll leave. He said, your brother took our truck. He took our woman. He took all our dope. He said, we don't want no problem. We just want to leave. And I looked at Mike, and Mike said, man, fuck them niggas.
Man, it's stuff like that I want y'all grandkids and their kids to.
I ended up marrying the bro.
No shit.
Yes, I did. They got a beautiful kid.
He took the man, woman, and married and everything.
This is even better. He came to my house one night about 2 o'clock in the morning. He started hollering in the street, and my wife said, yeah, one of your friends out there hollering and carrying on. And so I went outside. He's sitting out there. He got 2 white girls on the bike. On Gertrude. I don't know how he rode them over. He got 2 girls on the bike. And he walked in. He said, I don't know what I'm going to do. And he went in the house, in my house, left his bike running in the street. He went in and laid up on the couch in my house. And my wife said, you go get the bike, put it in the garage, put them girls in the truck, take them wherever the fuck they going. And I said, well, what about it? She said, if you take too long, I'm gonna fuck that motherfucker.
Hey, on that note, we out here, man. Hey, Doc, Boss Mike, I love y'all, man, and I love this, man, and we're gonna continue this conversation. We're gonna speak on it some more at your house, so we can show some of all that memorabilia, like Doc got on the walls right here, man.
Well, my wall is covered with all that shit. And,
it's covered.
And the history, so as you're talking, you can pan, and you can see, you know. Yeah. And everybody on that motherfucker is smiling, you know. And we have stories on everybody.
Enjoying.
I have a saying, I call that my wall of shame.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a shame if your ass ain't up on that wall.
That part. And I appreciate y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
Speak on it today. That's what we're going to always do.
If I got it, then I got it. If I don't, I'ma get it. Cause I said it and I said it. Cause I mean it. That's on that.
Speak on it, my nigga. Speak on it.